Continuing on from the last video, the next operator in our list is the phaser. The technical explanation of this effect is that the sound is split into two, and one of these signals is then treated to an all-pass filter and then mixed back in with the original sound. With only 4 controls, the effect is quite simple to operate. The order control is used to set the exact number of all-pass filters that are used in the process. As we cycle through the range from 1 to 16, more notches appear in the frequency spectrum. For each 2 all-pass filters that are added, there is an additional notch. The depth is then used to control the overall strength of the effect. Sound from the phaser can be fed back using the frequency control, with the result that this intensifies the effect. The overall feedback moves this to the extreme, such that the phaser can become self-sustaining. The most common target for modulating in the phaser is the frequency control, and to a lesser extent, the depth. Although a phaser can be used to treat any sound, some of the more common uses are electric guitars, the clavinet, or electric keyboards like the Rhodes or Wurlitzer. Firstly, let's have a listen to the electric guitar. Note the change in the effect as the order is increased. A low-frequency oscillator can be used to good effect with the frequency as the destination. Saw or triangle waveforms work perfectly as well. This gives the sound some sense of movement. Treating a clavinet sound can likewise give the instrument a bit more presence in the mix. No electric musician should be without some sort of lo-fi effect. However, it's not just used in electronic music. Vocals, guitars, drums can all be given a new sense of life by using it. Essentially, the operator is used to lower the bit depth or sampling rate of the incoming sound. A traditional use for this would be to replace the effect with older samplers. You can hear how this works on the following vocal.
Number 1 producer, number 1 DJ, number 1 factor, scene, blah, blah. Number 1 producer, number 1 DJ, number 1 factor, scene, blah, blah.
Notice that as the controls are taken to their limits, it can produce a quite unpleasant effect. This can find use in some of the more extreme forms of music. However, you might be surprised of how far you can take the controls on the sound sources, like kick drums or snare drums for instance. If you find the strength of the effect too extreme, you can combine it with a low-pass filter or bandpass filter. This will help clean up the sound by removing much of the higher-end alias sounds. The delay effect itself should need no introduction. Essentially, this is used to produce one or more echoes of the original sound. The delay operator in nitrous contains some controls that are not so commonly found on your more standard delay effects. Like other controls within nitrous, you can switch the delay between absolute and musical time. If you require more echoes, then you can increase the feedback. An interesting control is the feedback mode, which, when set to a line, is used to increase the number of repeats of the quicker delay, so that the time matches that of the longer. As you can hear, this gives a more cohesive result than normally would be possible. Judging by the controls, you would also be correct in assuming that the delay is also a stereo delay, and to a certain degree, you would be correct. Nitrous includes independent pan controls for each of the delay lines, so you could use the 2 delay lines panned identically to produce some more interesting rhythmic patterns, like we have set up here with this drum loop. Using one of the control knobs to target the feedback, you can make the loop sound more or less busy at the simple turn of a control. The distortion operator included with nitrous has a number of different modes of operation. These include 3 symmetric and 3 asymmetric distortion, giving you a relatively wide range of possible styles of distortion. Additionally, there is also a clip mode if you want to have a bit more aggressiveness. Using the crossover control, you can alter the tone of the distortion, giving you that extra control if you find that you are getting any ringing artifacts in your sound. Unless, of course, that is the sound you are aiming for. Modulating the frequency of the crossover can lead to some useful techniques.